Hello, I am the career introvert, and today I'm going to talk to you about can introverts be successful at conferences? So, one of the things that comes up, and it is conference season soon, is that introverts don't necessarily feel comfortable at conferences or don't know how to navigate it. And so, I want to talk about two or three things that can be really helpful for introverts to deal with conferences that I've learned over the years. I'm working with casinos and big conferences or smaller conferences of about 100 people. So, first things first, most conferences you can see who's going to be attending the conference, or at least companies, or get some kind of information, normally from websites. And these days, everyone has to like add their Twitter handle or their Facebook or their profile in some way, shape, or form. So use that information to figure out who you might want to speak to and try and connect with them in advance. And the reason I say this is because most of the very big conferences that I've gone to, what happens is the managers and the deal makers and the decision makers tend to attend the conference 2 or 3 days beforehand. They have little one on one meetings, coffees, drinks, dinners, whatever. And then when the conference is actually going on, you'll find that the lower level managers or the team members are attending the actual conference because there's so much going on. It's almost impossible for you to attend every meeting, every meetup, every dinner, lunch, and every speaker. So they come in, they do their deals, and then they just mosey around and they see people and they have friends, and that's what they do. So do your research beforehand, figure out who it is you want to talk to, and reach out to them and see if you can have one of those meetings before the actual conference, when it's calmer, when you have more time, when you're not so overwhelmed. That's one of the best things to do at a conference and to be successful, because then you've met this person in advance. And then when you're walking around the conference or wherever it might be, you have someone that you can say hello to who's already your friend and continue growing and nurturing that relationship. The other thing I highly recommend that you do is buy the replay. There are so many conferences these days that have a virtual option, or buy the replay of all our speakers, because they're different tracks normally. And so if you're attending on one track, you won't see anything on the other track. And it doesn't mean that you're not interested in that. It is just that you haven't got the time. So buy the replay and then you get to see all of that information. Not only that, you get to replay it and you get to make notes and think about it. Because one of the other problems with conferences is that so much information gets thrown at you at one time. It's very difficult to internalize it, take it all in, and process it. So get the replay. And then you can go back, make notes, maybe reach out to a person later on when you've thought about what you want to say or how you want to say it, or maybe you've done further research on the topic. The other thing is to be successful, whatever that success might be. And that's the other thing. Set your goals for success. And your goals for success can be, I need to meet 3 people and talk to them about whatever it might be. That is being successful. You set your goals. You work out what will work for you. If it's a 2 day conference, a 7 day conference, however long it might be, figure out what works for you. Do you talk to one person a day? Do you have 5 people that you have to meet and talk to no matter what? Do you want to attend 3 specific tracks and one dinner? Then, work it out so that works out for you and so that you're not drained. Don't give yourself permission to not attend everything. You don't have to attend everything. And I think the fear of missing out is definitely there, but it doesn't work well for introverts. You need that time to decompress and to have some alone time. Or maybe you could do it in such a way so that maybe you're staying at the venue. So if you want to take a break, it's very easy for you to go upstairs, take 10 minutes in your room, and then come back downstairs again and join the throng, rather than maybe trying to find a cheaper Airbnb slightly off site, which means you then have to go take your stuff with you and go to this place, finally get there, maybe transport, and then come back. If it's raining, snowing, whatever it might be, it might not be the best option. So if you can stay on site, I highly recommend it because it just cuts down on so much other stuff. So can introverts be successful at conferences? Yes. The other good thing you could do is speak at a conference. I find for me, speaking at conferences is my way of being able to network, because then when people come up to me, they have a very specific reason and a very specific thing to talk about. Whereas generally speaking, if you're just milling around, the questions are like, so what did you think of this person? Or what do you do? And you have those questions that if you repeat it often enough at a conference, you start forgetting or just changing your mind or just not wanting to say the same thing over and over again. Or maybe you have it pre-recorded on your phone and you just play it because you just repeat yourself. So I found that speaking at conferences gets people to come to talk to me and they have specific questions that they want to ask me. Also, I do my own meetup. Something that's been very successful is there are a lot of conferences and there will be a lot of parties and things like that. But if you host your own meetup and limit it to a certain amount of people, maybe in a coffee shop or a bakery or somewhere that has a limited amount of people that can fit, you can definitely curate and cultivate this very intimate atmosphere where then you can talk to people and not feel quite so pressured. So those are things that I recommend for introverts to be successful in the conference season. Thank you for watching. If you want to hear more, I'm here every Thursday. If you click on the little logo and subscribe, you will know when my video comes out. And thank you once again. This is the Career Introvert.